Welcome to the Humanergy Leadership Podcast, where we tackle your toughest leadership challenges and share practical tools to help you lead with impact.
Hey everyone, and welcome to the Humanergy Leadership Podcast. I'm Mimi Mitrius, your host for today, and we are thrilled to introduce a new face on the Humanergy team, Quay Eady. Quay brings incredible experience, energy, and insight to her role as an executive and personal coach. She is a U.S. Navy veteran, a seasoned leader across several industries, and someone who is passionate about helping people unlock their leadership potential. We're excited for you to get to know her and to hear what makes her coaching so impactful. So let's dive in. Hey, Quay, how are you?
Mimi, it's so good to be here with you today.
We're very happy to have you both here today and on the team. So welcome to both. So let's just get right in. You've had a really fascinating career path, Navy veteran, corporate leadership, now coaching. So you want to talk a little bit about what has inspired your transition into leadership development?
Well, Mimi, it's the impact for me. So I know that leadership coaching was the plot twist in my success story in my personal career trajectory. And when it came time for a career shift, I really thought about where could I have the most impact? You know, the Navy taught me discipline and how to lead under pressure. I learned strategic thinking and how to drive results in corporate. But when I boiled it all down across my whole career, all 22 years, every position required me to elevate and empower individual people and teams. And that's what I really liked about it. And I'm really good at it. So I thought that leadership development would be a natural evolution from the military to my corporate career to now a corporate coach.
Yeah, the bridge certainly looks like it tracks to me too. So, just to kind of build on that, your coaching approach focuses on taking teams from high potential to high performance. Can you tell us a little bit more about how you do that?
Yes. So high performance doesn't come from pressure. And I think that is something that a lot of leaders should really embrace. High performance comes from when the people feel seen, supported, and stretched. So when I coach leaders, we focus on three things: connection, communication, and culture. Building self-awareness allows you to connect with people that you couldn't connect with before, or you want to have a deeper level of connection. Effective communication strategies help us set clear goals and clear expectations, really communicate to motivate the team. And then a culture of continuous improvement that requires feedback and accountability, you know, working with leaders to deliver that to their team so they can then go out and do what moves the needle.
Yeah, that sounds so great. And I want to just kind of rewind to what you very first said. I think you said high performance doesn't equal high pressure. Did I hear that right? Oh,
Absolutely.
that
Yes.
sounds like music to my ears. You want
Right,
to
right,
expand a little bit on that just because it's such a nice little tidbit, and I think it's really important.
right. So to take a team from high potential to high performance, you really want to start by creating psychological safety. You want a place where people feel safe to stretch, safe to grow, safe to push the status quo. You know, we always ask really good questions, bold questions, even. We get real feedback. And then, you know, you have to create habits that turn into strategies or that feed the strategies that build momentum and drive performance.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that. For our listeners, Quay and I had a brief discussion before we started the recording on this, but we were kind of talking about previous leadership that we've both experienced, and psychological safety is so important. And I have had a couple of leaders in my past that have not created that space for psychological safety, and it's to the detriment of the whole team. And needless to say, I didn't stay very long in those positions. So I'm
Right.
really glad that you brought that up, Quay, because it is,
Yeah.
yeah,
I always say you have to push the status quo. You don't want people that's always doing things the same way we always did them. because high
Yeah.
performance teams don't do the same thing for 5 years because they found a way to better the ball, to sharpen the saw, to make it quicker, faster, more efficient, automated. That's what high performance teams do. And it's not and you can't do that if the environment isn't safe for people to stretch and grow.
Yeah. I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit because this is going to be a little bit of a curveball, but it's connected to psychological safety. I was having a conversation with a friend of mine who is a leader, and they told me that they have experienced some of their employees not coming to them because they said they were afraid of how they would react. What would you say to a leader in that position? Or what would you ask?
I would be very curious about their feedback delivery. And maybe the way that they've delivered feedback in the past didn't resonate well with the team dynamics. And so it's something about the communication, either a misunderstanding, a misalignment that needs to be uncovered. We all have blind spots. And so sometimes that's sitting in a blind spot and we don't even realize the way that we're communicating. It could be verbally or non-verbally.
Right.
I've gotten in trouble a lot about the faces that I make. But it's something with the communication and probably the delivery of feedback. So I would ask some questions around that and then build some strategies on how to do it more effectively and really kind of create that trust and that mutual understanding between the two.
Yeah. Yeah, that's sound advice, even though it's not advice, because you would just be asking lots of questions, which is key to coaching, right? So you've worked across multiple industries. We've got healthcare, finance, hospitality, casinos, which is super fun. What leadership challenges do you see that are common across all of the industries that you've worked in?
I would have to say, Mimi, unfortunately, the top two challenges that I see in most industries is burnout and employee engagement. Yeah, because and burnout isn't about the hours or the workload. It's really about the experience. When people feel invisible or unsupported, it don't matter how long their to-do list is, they're already drained. They're showing up drained. It's like, oh, on Sunday, they're like, oh, it's Monday. I don't want to go to work. You know people
Yeah.
who do that, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And then that burnout leads to a lack of engagement
Mm.
because it's easy to get people to clock in, but not buy in. And that's what
Sure.
leaders really need people to do is to buy into the mission, to the goal, to the cause. There's a strong correlation between team buy-in and team performance. You know, People don't go the extra mile just for a paycheck. They go the extra mile for a purpose, for a leader that they can trust, and for a leader that supports them.
People
And
don't go the extra mile for a paycheck, they go for a purpose. Is that your quote? Because I'm going to write that down and post it on Instagram.
yes, please. Yeah, I mean, we've all heard that, people don't quit jobs, they quit leaders.
Yep.
We heard that. So it's not the paycheck that's really going to drive high performance. It definitely is, needed, but it's the purpose. It's that connection to the mission, the connection to the people on the team, to the leadership, to the goals. Once everyone really feels connected to that and to each other, that's when you can really start moving as a unit. Because as engagement goes up, performance follows, and then the culture becomes something that people really want to be a part of and not run away from.
Yeah. Oh, that's so valuable, creating a strong foundation for your team where they want to be there together.
Right.
Yeah.
It sounds like a fairy tale land, but I have
It
worked
does.
on teams, I remember way back when one of my first mentors, maybe about 10 years, 15 years ago, I was switching teams within the organization. And I'm like, I don't know about their team culture. Kelly, I don't know if it'll be the same. And she looked me dead in my eye and she said, Quay, create the culture where you go. You have permission to be powerful. And I was like, oh, okay, well, I guess we're going to have fun here
That's awesome. Yep, that's so great. And I think for a lot of folks that maybe aren't in leadership positions, they're not sure how they can maybe have that kind of influence. Do you have anything you would say to those kind of people that are maybe not in leadership roles directly?
Yeah, well, leadership isn't about a title. It's about the way you show up.
Mm.
It's about the way you speak up and about the way that you follow through. That's what really will help define your leadership. Because I know, like John Maxwell says, leadership is influence, the way we influence the people around us. And if we are influencing people positively to get to a common goal, then we are showing up as leaders. And I think it was John Adams, our sixth president of the United States. He said, if you inspire someone to do more, learn more, become more, you're a leader. And
Yeah.
he said that 225 years ago. So I'm holding on to it.
Isn't that great? The best leadership advice truly is evergreen. I mean,
Timeless,
it
classic.
is, right? It is. And which is why Humanergy has been in business for 25 years. Yay for Humanergy. Just as
I
a side
know.
note.
Congratulations.
I mean, I've only been here for about 4, but yes. I'm
Right.
so happy to be a part of this team because it is one of those dream teams that you had mentioned earlier.
Absolutely. And, I was a client of Humanergy early in my career. And when I had the opportunity to come and work for Humanergy, it was like a no-brainer because these strategies and tools that we share with leaders in their teams actually changed the trajectory of my career. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
so grateful for them. And I've used them every day for like the last 15 years.
Yeah. Agreed. I mean, since I've been working here, I can't say how much has shifted. I keep the tools next to my desk and I think about them throughout my day as I kind of navigate the rest of life, not just work. So
Exactly.
really transferable, relatable.
Hmm.
I'm going to bring the focus back to you though. You had mentioned in just a few minutes ago about how you can create the culture that you want when you go from team to team. So, to spin off of that, you are known for bringing kind of a high energy and igniting a sense of urgency and purpose. So, how do you help leaders and teams embrace that kind of bold action?
Yeah, I always like to say that bold action doesn't come from the hype. It comes from clarity. The hype is just the extra that I put on,
Mm-hmm.
to make it fun. Because
Yeah.
most teams, they don't lack capabilities, they lack clarity in the direction that they're going, in their alignment. And sometimes there may just need to be a new standard for the team. We've hit this bar, we're good right here, running at 100%, but there's so much more room for growth. You know, for people to feel the sense of urgency and take action, they need to be in an environment where they feel safe enough, supported enough, and clear enough to move forward with purpose.
Yeah.
Because when that type of foundation is in place, urgency feels natural and not forced. Let's hurry up and do the right thing. You know what I mean? Like, how would your team perform if they had that mindset?
Yeah.
Things would get done so much faster, so much smoother. Just aligning the people, the priorities, just taking a step back to think clearly, getting on the right path, and then move confidently forward. Yeah. So it's the hype is fun and it brings a little extra razzle dazzle to the experience, but it's all about the clarity.
Yeah.
Where are we really going?
Mm-hmm. True. Clarity, mutual understanding. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Awesome. So when you mentioned earlier, you know, leadership isn't about a title. It's not about the position that you have. That really resonates with me. I'm sure, hopefully, it resonates with our listeners. So, what advice do you have for someone who doesn't see themselves as a leader, but wants to grow into an actual leadership position? Maybe with a title that has leader of some sort in it. Maybe not, but who wants to move into that kind of role?
So, some advice that I would have for someone who doesn't think they are a leader, I would have them, take a couple of minutes and think about the best qualities, like the top 10 qualities of the best leader that you know. Like write them down, write down all the wonderful things about that person. And then review the list 3 times. Just read them down, 1 through 10, 3 times. But then I want you to realize that the only reason why you can recognize those skills is because they're already in you. Those seeds have already been planted. We just need to nurture them so they can bloom and grow into this amazing leader. Like we all have the ability to lead, and you can lead people, you can lead processes, but the most important thing that you have to lead is yourself. And once you are leading the person that's in the mirror, then other people will start to see those leadership skills way before even sometime you do. Because that's what happened with me. My boss came up to me and was like, Quay, we see a leader in you. We just a little rough around the edges. Just knowing
Oh,
that.
hold on one sec. Your sound went weird. Try talking again.
Testing?
Yes, good.
Okay. Um, yeah, but some people are natural born leaders, and some people are classically trained leaders, and I had to be trained. I needed to polish the edges, sharpen the saw, and just really find those leaders that inspire you, read their books, and just, as I said earlier, show up, speak up, and follow through. And that will just innately express your leadership qualities.
Awesome. Show up, speak up, follow through. You heard it here, folks. So, outside of coaching, we hear you love to travel. What has been your favorite adventure so far, and where are you most excited about checking off in the future?
Oh, when you say adventure, I use the term very loosely because I like to
That's
relax.
Hey, that's still, your adventure is a little different than some other people's adventure, but adventure nonetheless.
Exactly. So I would have to say the most memorable, favorite, outstanding, spectacular, out of this world. I went to Hawaii for my birthday one year and we did a private sunset cruise on a yacht. And the yacht guys caught lobster off the side and grilled them up right there. We had dinner, and that was the sweetest lobster I've ever had in my life. So that is like top notch. And then watching the sunset on the ocean in Hawaii.
I
It was just a
yeah.
whole thing, right?
What
Oh my
what island were you on?
God. We went Oahu.
Oh, lovely. Very
Yes.
cool. Yeah,
Um,
there's nothing that sounds terrible about that experience.
I know, right? But I am an avid cruiser. I love to go on cruises. I blame it on the Navy. And I have a cruise coming up. We're going to Turks and Caicos, Dominican Republic, and the Nassau, Bahamas. And I've been to all of those before, but oh, the water in Turks, oh, it's just so blue and beautiful. It's just, I'm like, oh my God, people live here. They get to see this every day. Like this is just, it like just cleanses my soul. I'm just so excited to go.
That's so awesome. And so where have you not been that you are most excited to try out?
So I want to go to Egypt. I
Ooh.
really want to see the pyramids. Like, I want to see them. I don't know. I want to touch them. I want to see if, like, I get some goosebumps or something. I want to
Hmm.
go to the pyramids
That's a
and
good,
see the Northern Lights. But I hear
yeah.
we see them in Michigan up north, so I'm going to come home to see the Northern Lights.
Yeah, that's right. So for those of you listening, Quay is from Michigan and currently located in Las Vegas. So she is
Yeah.
warmer than most of us.
I like to say I'm a Midwest girl who lives out west but loves the Atlantic Ocean. I don't know how it happened.
Hey,
We're here and I love it.
you know, you're dynamic and I like it. I'm here for that. So before we wrap up, can you let our listeners know how they can connect with you and learn about you if they want to, get on a call, a discovery call, a coaching call, whatever it may be?
Absolutely. If something sparked fire in you today, I love to keep the conversation going. You can find me on LinkedIn. I'm Quay Eady, or you can go to humanergy.com to find out more about our leadership program and free leadership resources.
That's right. And Quay's email address is Quay, Quay, at humanergy.com. That's Humanergy.com. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
That was the Humanergy Leadership Podcast. Make sure you like and subscribe and visit humanergy.com for many more resources.